On the Scottish coast, east of Edinburgh, lies the town of North Berwick. Its West Links is renowned as one of the finest golf courses anywhere in the world. This is a pure links experience, where bunkers lie in wait as your ball bounds along the ground and fairways and greens blend together. It's a course that will thrill you and confound you in equal measure. It's a course you'll want to play again and again. This is every hole at the West Links, North Berwick. You're introduced to the quirks of North Berwick from the off. It's just a mid-iron from the first tee to a wide fairway shared with the 18th hole. From there you'll have a blind shot up a rocky outcrop to a green perched by the sea. The vast green slopes steeply from left to right and back to front. If the westerly wind is blowing hard and you're above the hole, you'll need all your skill to get it close. Welcome to North Berwick. If the first hole was a gentle handshake, North Berwick tightens its grip on the second. The challenge from the tee is clear. If you hit it on the right-hand side of the fairway, the beach is in play, but a good shot will be rewarded with a bounce forward, a flat lie, and clear sight of the green. With the more conservative route to the left, you will stay dry, but risk an uneven stance and a long blind shot in. If you do end up on the beach, feel free to take a club down and play back up. It's almost a rite of passage at North Berwick to play one from the sand. Don't worry if you don't get the chance on the second though, there are plenty more opportunities to come. The third hole introduces you to another unusual feature of North Berwick, the stone wall which marked the original boundary of the course. You'll need to hit a long straight ball to have a chance of getting up to this par 4 in 2, but make sure you don't go too close to the man-made hurdle or you may need to play back rather than forward. Don't celebrate too quickly after clearing this obstacle, another wall is in play to the right of the green. The putting surface at the third is a masterclass in understated trickery. It may look straightforward at first sight, but the swales and hollows will take years to learn. The routing at North Berwick is a figure of 8 configuration, which means both nines have holes on the coastline and inland. We move away from the water for the fourth, the first short hole on the course. Pay careful attention to the wind direction and pin position, as they will make all the difference to your club selection. This hole can play anything from a 9-iron to a driver depending on the conditions of the day. Running one up short is often a smart play on this hole. The further down the tiered green you go, the more likely you are to see your ball gobbled up by one of the bunkers. Accuracy from the tee is important on the 5th hole. If you avoid the bunkers that lie left and right of the landing zone, you'll be rewarded with a relatively straightforward short iron in. There's only one sand bunker to contend with at the green, but if you miss to the left, the grass bunker will provide quite a test of your short game to save a par. One of the many lovely features of North Berwick is that there are no hikes between greens and tees. One hole normally leads straight to the next. It's just a few paces from the 5th green to the 6th tee. The 6th is the shortest hole on the course, but it's not a hole to be treated lightly. Into the prevailing wind, you can be hitting a long club. Precision is demanded as the green has bunkers on 3 sides and heavy rough to the rear. It's always better to take a little more club and be safely on, rather than risk landing in the quarry short. If you do find yourself in the large bunker in front of the green, getting anything up and onto the short stuff should be considered a success. Burns play a role in several of the greatest Scottish links. Just think of the Swilcan at St Andrews or the Barry at Carnoustie. At North Berwick, it's the Eil Burn that comes into play. On the 7th hole, there is an incentive to get as far down the fairway as possible with your tee shot, so you can hit a lofted club into the green. But longer hitters need to be wary of going too far and ending up in the burn from the tee. Any approach to the green that comes up short will end up wet, but with outer bounds to the left and 3 deep bunkers to the right, this is a tricky shot. It's a hole that is as challenging downwind as into the breeze, especially to a front pin. With firm conditions, it's almost impossible to stop the ball close. The 8th brings the first par 5. There are 3 par 5s on the course, all in the next 4 holes. The tee shot is relatively straightforward, although you may be rewarded by the speed slot if you play close to the sand on the left. Then it's all about the bunkers. There are 11 of them on this hole. If you're laying up, you need to be precise with your shot, or the brilliantly placed cross bunkers come into play. Whether you're going for it in 2 or 3, the greenside bunkers will be a factor too. The 9th is another par 5 and is the only hole on the property that runs from south to north. Again, bunkers are the challenge off the tee. The better line into the green is down the left, but pull one and you risk going out of bounds. It's an uphill shot to the green set into a dune. Make sure you take enough club, as the slope at the front has sent many a ball back to the bottom. The front 9 at North Berwick is a great set of holes, but it's the back 9 that stays in your mind forever. If you've been playing into the prevailing wind, then you'll have it behind you for the rest of your round. If it's been with you until now, then take a deep breath. You'll need to hit some longer shots on the holes to come. The 10th tee gives you a wonderful view over the Firth of Forth and back down the course towards the town of North Berwick. Taking the right club is the key on this par 3. You'll need to account for the change in the wind, the drop in elevation, and the visual trickery of dead ground behind the nearest bunker, which may confuse you. With the trouble all at the front, too much club is better than too little. The final par 5 comes at the 11th hole. From the tee, you want to be on the right hand side of the fairway to have the best line into the green, but beware of the 2 bunkers that lurk there. The ground will try to push your ball towards them. Longer hitters will then have a decision to make. The hole may be reachable in 2, but it's strewn with challenges. The ridge short of the hole makes it. Flying it with your approach needs a draw to stay on the sloping left to right green. If you run one in though, it requires a fade to knock against the ridge and kick the ball straight. Once you get close to the putting surface, everything will try to push your ball into the narrow bunker on the right that runs the length of the green. This is a great example of a hole where the ground game and using the contours can make or break your score. The 12th hole is a dogleg left, where the best line into the green comes from the left side of the fairway. However, a cluster of 4 punishing bunkers means you will likely be pushed out to the right. But if you approach from too far right, you'll find it hard to hold the small, sloping green, as once again the contours will conspire against you. The green is small and protected well by 3 bunkers, the beach to the left, and gnarly rough long. You could travel the world playing all the greatest courses and you wouldn't meet anything quite as unusual as the 13th at North Berwick, Pit. The smallest green on the course is found behind a stone wall. For the best line, you should be on the left side of the fairway, playing down the length of the green. However, that brings the dune to the left and a bunker into play. If you go down the right, you'll need to be precise with your approach shot in order to drop the ball just over the wall. Every day, dozens of golfers will come up short and are faced with one of the most confounding shots in golf. From the pit to perfection. The 14th is so named because it's said to take 2 perfect shots to get home. From the tee, depending on the wind, you may not be hitting a driver, as you'll need to lay up short of the cross bunkers. Your second shot is completely blind. The smart play is to just drop your approach at the top of the ridge and let it run down to the green. Anything aggressive risks bounding through and onto the beach beyond. The 15th at North Berwick, Redan, is the most copied hole in the world of golf. Redan is a military term for a defensive fortification, and there are several defences on this lengthy par 3. Firstly, the long green slopes diagonally away from you from right to left, sweeping the ball down. If you're playing with the wind behind, holding the green will be a challenge for any golfer. Secondly, there's a cavernous bunker guarding the green to the left. To add to the complexity of this hole, you'll find 3 pot bunkers to the right, and it's a semi-blind tee shot too. This hole has been copied across the globe, but the 15th at North Berwick may be the toughest Redan there is. If the wind's behind you on the 16th tee, then clearing the burn shouldn't be too much of a problem, but if there's a breeze into you, choose your club carefully. The children's course to the right is out of bounds, so there's plenty to think about from the tee. The real fun begins with your approach. The long, narrow, angled green is on 2 plateaus with a deep gully down the middle. Hitting and holding either portion in regulation is a tough ask, although the front is more accessible. The up and down is a really tough challenge on this crazy, wild and bewildering green. Don't beat yourself up too much if you run up a big score here. The master of the short game, Phil Mickelson, drove it pin high and walked off with a 6. The 17th is a tough challenge so late in the round. Aim towards the Bass Rock with your drive to this mogul-strewn fairway. You'll need to hit a long ball down to have enough loft to get your second over the trench-like bunker that guards the green. If you don't think you can get there in 2, this isn't the time to be heroic, as many a scorecard has been ruined by coming up short in the sand. The approach shot is blind, but when you get up the hill you'll find a large bowl-like green. Hit it too far though and you'll be playing from the first again. The 18th hole is home. For many, the green is reachable from this elevated tee, but if you hit the ball with too much left to right, then the row of parked cars and houses behind awaits. You'll be glad of the insurance that's included in your green fee. The sensible route is to approach the green from the left-hand side, which not only keeps the road out of play, but the Valley of Sin too. The green is large and pretty flat, and there are no bunkers. This means that many birdies are seen on this hole, making it a great match play finale. You finish where you started, in the town of North Berwick, a place that has grown up with golf at the heart of the community. No one person designed the West Links. Over the years, balls were thrown down and hit over the rumpled land, sandy hollows appeared, and holes emerged. The combination of nature and man has created one of the world's most exhilarating golf courses. It's a course that will challenge you and enchant you. It's a course that will reward you for letting your imagination run riot. Everyone finishes their round here smiling. It's just that kind of place. The West Links at North Berwick truly is one of golf's greatest treasures.